Can you just like introduce yourself and like what your position in the radio station is?
I'm Mike Camillo. I am the advisor for WXSU. As the advisor and technical advisor going back to 2008, I was involved with the radio station as a student from 98 to when I graduated in 03. So what's that, 1,000 years, something like that?
Give or take.
Yeah, my math is not very good. So
do you feel like coming back this semester was worth it?
XSU is the sailing club with microphones. It should be fun. This is what we do. Yes, we're a radio station. Yes, we have to follow some laws, but if it's not fun, what's the point? And this semester was a challenge.
I joined radio mostly to make more friends since I joined as a freshman, and I was just kind of looking for a group of people that shared my same interest in music.
My dad was a radio DJ, and I always thought that was really cool, and given the opportunity, I wanted to take a hold of it.
It was so weird because I had never really seen anything like it, and I was like, wait, I can just do this for free.
Like a musician and a music nerd is just the idea of being able to broadcast that and kind of be part of a community of people who are also really into music interested me.
It's definitely expanded my group of friends, and everything like that, and I'd say that the friends I have here are probably my core group of friends.
Well, the club has allowed me to meet a lot of great people in and of itself, just within the meetings and coming in and out of here every other day.
My name is Megan. I'm marketing manager for the station.
My name is Angela Semig, and I'm the productions manager.
I'm Nathan Rutherford, and I'm the programming manager at WXSU.
My name's Dan Katz. I am the general manager of WXSU.
My semester's been all right. Definitely more stressful with COVID and everything, but it's been pretty good overall.
It's been interesting. It's been kind of long, but also really, really short. It's weird.
Personally, it's been an up and down year, as it's been for most people.
How has COVID impacted clubs and classes? I mean, how has it made it difficult to run the semester?
Most of the difficulty has been with just moving modality.
I struggle with just sitting in my room and watching PowerPoints and trying to do the best I can, but I'm stringing it along, stumbling, but succeeding.
Some professors and some classes have adapted really well, and some have been total dumpster fires. Communication's a little rough sometimes. When things are due, the structure of classes kind of has to get changed on the fly. So it's definitely been weird, and I think professors and students are really struggling with that.
I did look forward to in-person meetings. I wanted to stand in front of the club that I manage and act like the general manager, and that was stifled. Same thing with in-person events.
It's still kind of challenging because, the studio, it's not a big studio. It's it's enough for 2 people to sit in. But now, with the COVID restrictions, you can only have one person in there at a time. Right. So it definitely takes away that teamwork aspect and makes it more of a, you give me audio files, I'll make you a drop kind of feel,
I think the one thing is it's harder to post about things because there's not as many things going on. So I think getting creative and being how do you engage with that and, get people looking and seeing, because there's not events going on.
In terms of student organizations, I don't think that WXSU is alone in this boat, but we have a lot fewer students on campus right now.
I mean, especially this semester, and I think this is something that's affected us in our membership too, is, I mean, the desire, the motivation to like join another org is kind of low.
Actively, I'm in pep band. We're not really active. Like we are, but we're not. We can't. I mean, it's the same kind of thing. We like can't go to events and do things.
This is the only thing I'm doing outside of my academics.
100%. Oh my God, yeah. I mean, almost in every way, actually. COVID has definitely affected being an RA. So, I mean, just from planning programs, because a big thing is that, like, we can't give out food like we used to. And that's, like, a big deal because that's what drew a lot of people out to programs and stuff. One thing that's been really good about it is that I've been able to like combine like my position as an RA with WXSU. So this is the Tree of Good Vibes. We made this during a RA and WXSU combined program. So basically we went to Red Square and had a bunch of people come out and kind of write what they're thankful for on a leaf. And WXSU played music for it and brought more people out. And then as a club, we kind of put it together, and now it's in our office.
How many events have we had this semester?
Just that one.
Just that one?
I think, yeah, right?
How do you feel like we have handled the COVID situation this semester?
I think we have a fantastic group this semester, which is great because there have been groups going back, the decades that the club's existed since the 70s. There have been groups where students in management or the staff would just be the hell with this and walked away, and that's it.
It was a daunting task, given the knowledge that I knew I was going to be the next general manager. It was only killing me not to be able to see my staff and to sit in the same room. I had a lot of thoughts about leadership and what it would take to be a leader in the digital era that it is now. I strategized over the summer. I thought, what can I do to make it better for everybody else? Because I knew that I would get by, but I wanted everyone else to get by too.
This semester, I designed the shirts to look kind of like, almost like a Space Force, NASA, something that would kind of give off like Star Trek vibes. We're a group of like-minded individuals, and ultimately we're a team. I actually had initially, like under the little patch, called it away team, like from Star Trek. I thought that transmission was, well, first of all, that word kind of sounds very like spacey. Like that's, if you were to ask an astronaut about radio, I feel like they would talk about transmissions. We can still wear this shirt proudly. We are the transmission team. I'm happy with it. And honestly, I'm just glad that I could contribute something to the club, especially this semester, considering how hard everyone else is working.
Just go ahead and just talk about what's up. What are you doing?
All right, so basically, like, what my day-to-day job as a programming manager is like a couple steps. First thing is our clocks. So basically, this is a master schedule for every day of every week, and I change these around periodically. So I'd say it's like 65% automation, and then 45% kind of like my subjective judgment as like a playlist maker, and then just making sure that it fits the sort of rule set that we have around our logs.
We're on air 24/7. We have an automation system to do that. We have fewer live bodies than we've had in possibly ever, just because we have fewer people. But for the listener, that hasn't changed. We're still streaming. We're still on FM. So those things haven't changed at all.
Over the summer, we did hold a couple meetings just to format what we were going to do if we could not return or if we were going to return.
I think done the best that we can to create a situation that like people can still come in here and like we still did things that we would normally do, just without like the in-person kind of things.
Yeah, we might not be expanding outward as much as maybe we could, but I'd say this has been a serious period of like reflection and self-improvement for this organization.
It's been interesting to like spend time like, okay, like what can we do to like keep people, whatever, and like reach out to people and stuff like that.
We definitely did the best that we could with the amount of time that we had to figure it all out.
I think our club came together. We had some good conversations. We discussed it, and we came to an agreement as a group.
I mean, we've managed to, like, you say if we're a small enough staff, like on the management end, that we've kept this place operating with like a small number of people. We're still open. We're still broadcasting. People are still doing shows. The fact that we're one of the few orgs and one of the few big six that can really run in a pretty fulsome capacity under this is like definitely a unique advantage we had, and we definitely seized that opportunity.
I think we've handled it like as well as we can. I mean, adapting and keeping things as regular as possible, and like giving people an opportunity to like get out, do their show, like have a little bit of normalcy.
The switch from in-person to Zoom club meetings has been like, it was a pretty solid choice.
I think a lot of people do miss in-person meetings. Just online feels hollow, and maybe it loses some of the mandatory aspect. But I feel like our regular disc jockeys and just anybody that hangs around with our club doing anything, I think has really nothing's much changed. Wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart. Maybe you can't have 4 people in your show, but you can have 3 and one in the doorway.
Why would someone pay $25,000 a year to learn through this exclusively, and not have a campus to go to? That would be that would be a frightening aspect, a frightening thought to believe. I wouldn't have done it.
We were paying the same amount of money for classes that we could have taken online that are already adapted to be online. And so I think that like coming back really kind of brought back that aspect of that college experience.
Obviously the spring semester was a little tougher because everything was new, and these restrictions we were putting on was the first of everything. So obviously they were big, but in my mind they were probably necessary. Now coming back for the fall semester, I have nothing but praise for the university. Obviously you can't stop the spread 100%, but I think our testing, our mask policies, are using the app to screen yourself before you come to campus and making that mandatory.
I don't know if it's still like this. I'm not sure how long it was like this, but I heard that our per capita like percentage of being positive was lower than Wacomico County.
Our percentage, at least on campus tested students, is significantly lower than Wacomico County and Maryland and the nation as a whole.
I think it's important to acknowledge the fact that we're still here sitting in this WXSU office right now, and we're not shut down, which is a feat that, going to be honest with you, I tend to be on the pessimistic and cynical side. So before the semester started, I was like, give it 3 weeks, give it a month. And here we are, and the semester's ending in a couple weeks.
Yeah, left and right, all my friends that are in Maryland going to school, they're all home now. And granted, I wish I could be with them, but they were all jealous of that we are continuing our academics in the great city of Salisbury. And I was very happy to see that we can continue that.
I'm lucky that I kind of chose this club before all of this happened anyway, and the fact that we're still able to be up and running.
I know I wanted to come here excited and to show everybody that I was excited to be here, that I wanted to be here, and that I was hoping that enthusiasm would rub off, and it did.
These social clubs are important for people because if not, then they just like are in their room.
The people that I met through this club were a lot of the people I spent a majority of my like day-to-day, hour-to-hour time with.
On my social life, it's definitely opened me up to people that I wouldn't have met otherwise. Just kind of like, outside of like other things like academically, like socially, there's people from like every different like major and every different, like, you know.
You work with what you got, and, you know, obviously you can't hang out with 50 people, but hanging out with 10 people is just the price to pay, and I'm happy to pay it.
You know, I kind of found my place here, and that's really, you know, I'm just happy with what I've got going on here.
This is one thing that, like, I know I can do, and, you know, that didn't change, and that was cool.
Staff, student, faculty, they were phenomenal. I mean, we have a great group of people on this campus, and I think that were there stupid moves? Yeah, positive of that. I'm not so naive to think otherwise, but I think that we did a phenomenal job, and students got what they should get in most cases out of this campus as best as we could provide for the students. I think they got that this semester.
Even though we have to adapt with the new COVID policies and everything, honestly, I think that coming back is the only thing that makes it worth it.
Now it's synced.
Cool.